Hello explorers, Kid Explorer here, and I'm back with another solo traveling tips video. In today's video, we're gonna talk about which news apps to use to stay safe while traveling. And I got this idea because I was reading a Reddit thread, and the thread asked, do you use specific apps to stay safe to get updated about risks while traveling? If yes, which one? So I wanted to answer that question because it's kind of a loaded question if you really get into the thick of it. But we're going to talk about this thread today. And if you want to go to Reddit and read the thread and insert your own comments, be sure to do so. I am not the creator of the thread, but you can go check it out and give this person some feedback. So let's get into today's video. And before we do, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified when all of my videos release. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much and welcome back to my channel. Now let's get into today's video. So the first thing I'm going to recommend is to contact your country's State Department, or its equivalent, your head of state. The state departments of countries are going to have travel warnings based on your nationality and where you're going. Now, sometimes you have to take these warnings with a grain of salt. Now, I say that because countries do have issues between each other. There could be some biases, propaganda type things at times. But you do want to look at those alerts and see what exactly those alerts mean. Because sometimes you may be an alert for something that may not be threatening to you. Or like one alert is make sure you stay out of the way of protests. Maybe that country is having protests. Like in France, they're always having protests for something. Love France, love it, love it. They know how to protest good. They may put out an alert saying avoid protests in France. That means just don't get involved in the protest, but you can still go about your way, mind your own business, basically. But then there's other times where there may be acts of war or terrorism, like, I don't know, in Ukraine right now. You can't even travel there if you wanted to, but you need to really look at the meat of those alerts, but you should consider them and see what the meaning really is behind those alerts. Next up, going with contacting or looking at the information from your country's State Department, head of state, you can possibly register with your country before traveling. So I know there's some countries that have their own registration program. I don't know the specifics behind each of them. I believe Australia has one. I believe Canada has one. But here in the United States, we do have a program where you can register about your travel. It's called the STEP program. I always register in that program because they give me live updates when something happens. So if they know my end date of travel is September 1st, 2023, they're sending me email updates of things that are actually happening on the ground that they know from the local embassy up until that date. So that information is way more informative than the information that you actually find like from the State Department and head of state, at least in my opinion. Now, another great outlet to find news is to look at the local news while you're there, or a very reputable news source. One great news source is Reuters. I'm not sure if I'm saying the name right. Oh my gosh. But you want to look at those resources. Now, obviously, local news can potentially hide information, or you may find out delayed information depending on which country you're going to. But at least you get information from on the ground and not from a third source from another country. And you may think CNN or Fox News are the most reliable. Sometimes they're not reliable. Sometimes they're just trying to get the news out quickly and may not be all the accurate information. So you definitely want to find a local source of news and a reputable source of news to get that information. Another thing you can look for, or you want to get some accurate information of news while you're on the ground, is actually visiting your local embassy, contacting the local embassy in that country you're visiting. They're going to be more informed about what's actually happening in that location because they are actually there. So if you want to get in touch with your local embassy, you can look up embassies in that country. Hopefully there is one, or a close contact to stay in touch. But if your country has a registration program like the US, the STEP program, usually that gets you in contact or in connection with a local embassy. Now for this one, you have to be very careful because social media can spread a lot of informative, good news, or fake and not so good news, or whatever you want to take it as. But social media can be a really good source of information. I say this because you are going to get accounts about people and what's happening in a location way quicker, because people are going to start posting things on social media. They're going to start tweeting about it. They're going to start posting on TikTok. They're going to start posting it. Well, if TikTok is available in that country, because you know it's banned some places, but they may post it on their Instagram, and they're going to be hashtagging that location. If you look at hashtags of that location, you're going to see things that are happening. If something major, a disruption, some battle, some war, something breaks out, some disaster breaks out in that country, you're going to be able to find it on social media through hashtags, and that hashtag is going to start blowing up real quick, and you're going to find that information there. Next up, you may want to download an app from the Red Cross that I recently learned about, and I thought it was really interesting. And the app is called Emergency Alerts. Let me share my screen. Okay, so currently I have like my close to home location, but you can always add your location of what you want to do, or you can monitor your live location so they can track where you are. And when something happens, a disaster or some type of tragedy happens, the alert's going to come through this application. So maybe you want to add a new location. Let's just try Los Angeles. Don't know if anything's going on there, but say I want to check out what's happening in Los Angeles, and currently there's no alerts there. I don't know where there's probably an alert right now. Maybe let's try another location. Let's try New York. Who has an alert right now? No alerts. So nothing's happening right now in these locations, but as you can see, alerts will pop up here. I don't know if it works for the entire world, but it definitely works in the US, and something that you can try that will actually push notifications of alerts to your phone. And lastly, the one thing you want to do is share your location with someone back at home, a loved one, a friend, someone you can trust, because they can see your live location. If they know you're going to be in a general area and they see some news outbreak, they can contact you and either let you know or check to see if you're okay and need assistance. Okay, explorers, I really hope you enjoyed this video and learning about different ways you can find news, updates, and alerts while you're traveling this planet. Just to recap, some things that you can use. You can check your State Department head of state, register with your country, contact local embassies, you can check social media, you can download the Emergency Alerts app from the Red Cross, you can check local news or reputable news sources, and then always share your location. So those are the different things that you can do to check for news and breaking news when you're traveling. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. It is free for you to do so, and it helps me provide more and better content to you in the future. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments about this video, please make sure you leave that down below in the comment box. And any information I mentioned in this video will be linked down below in the description box. Make sure you share this video with your friends, family, and social media networks so they can know where they can get news when they travel. And if you're interested in supporting my business more, make sure you check out my merchandise store linked down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night wherever in the world you are. Bye.